Yo, what's up, boys and girls? I'm back at another video. This time it's been a little bit different. Today we are pre-recorded from YCS Dallas, YCS Fort Worth. We did day 2. We went X2-1 throughout the day in our rounds of Swiss, which is actually pretty good for pure Cyber Dragons. I didn't want any of that Orcus garbage, that nonsense, which was ridiculous. And I'll explain a little more about that deck profile. Make sure you guys want to see more videos. Make sure you leave a like if you want to see more. Please subscribe. I want videos coming down the pipeline, so stay tuned for that if you'd like to. Leave a comment down below if you guys want to change anything about the deck. I'll tell you why you're wrong, but anyway, let's get the deck profile. So, first things first, Cyber Dragons. We have 3 of the original boy. This guy has stood the test of time. Hands down, one of the best cards that's ever come out in the game. Super solid 3. I know like Sam and Yassine and some other people are playing that at 1, maybe even 2. But the card's just too good, and Machine Dupe's too good to play at just 1. So I like it at 1, as a 3. Great against Sky Strikers, great against most matchups in general, especially for material, yada yada. 3 core, Lifeblood of this deck, mandatory on summon effect, so it can get Ghost Ogre, Ash Blossomed, all that jazz, Hand Trap, Magnet. This thing is insane, but when it does revolve, it's good. So 3 of those. 3 hers, he's okay. Honestly, you're only playing 3 because he's technically the best normal summon. Because he doesn't have an activated effect, you can normal summon him and contact fuse away your guys, which is great. Level 5 thing only comes up every so often, but it really doesn't. You're using him for his discard effect and for contact fusing only. 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Noxer. Noxer is good at 2. Sometimes you need him. Mainly what we're going to do this card is banishing core from the grave whenever your opponent has monsters and you do not, and summon this guy out to bring back your monsters. Actually, this is an interaction I had earlier in round 7 where I was playing against Orcus, went into the grind game, and I banished Cyber Dragon core, summoned Noxer, summoned back Rampage Dragon, and then swang 3 times per game. It was pretty sick. So. Only 2 of those. Honorary Cyber Dragon, 2 copies of Galaxy Soldier. Don't play 3. 3 is a little excessive. You can play 3 if you're really worried about opening up, but this deck is worried less about combo and less about aggression and more about control, and 2 is perfect for that. So 2 of those. 2 Ash Blossom and 2 Ghost Ogre. So no one's playing hand traps right now, which is a damn shame. Sky Strikers and Salamander Greats are, and a few decks are teching them in the side deck, but main deck's great. This deck really likes to trade 1-for-1s, really likes a lot of value. Right now we're in kind of a value meta, so if you're able to trade Ash Blossoms, trade Ghost Ogre, LP, hitting scales, anything like that, it's beautiful. Light monster as well, so you can use it off Galaxy Soldier. It doesn't really come up, but you can. And that's gonna be it for the monsters. Onto the spell cards. 3 Cyber Emergency. Super expensive right now, picked up when it was dirt cheap, and I'm so happy. This card is great. Makes essentially boosting consistency, but not necessarily super well. You can search it when you need to as well, which is nice. 3 Machine Dupe. Free material. If you open up multiple copies as well, then you can use them again if they get Ash Blossomed, etc. Really awesome, especially if you're trying to bait out things. So let's say they Ash your core like a fool, then you can just drop the Machine Dupe and then everything's sad. Usually it means game from there. Free material essentially, which is awesome. And then 3 Super Polys in the main deck. I really like Super Poly in the main deck. This thing is insane. I know some people don't like this in the format currently, but I think that personally it's a necessary evil. Outside of that, a lot of decks just crumble to it, which is insane. It gets a little bit awkward. I actually had a round, I want to say it was 9, I had an awkward interaction with it, but other than that, it's great. Good against Pendulums, good against any type of combo deck, Orcus, yada yada. In fact, you actually summon your own guys with this, with kind of like Rampage Dragon, and it's great. So he has a lot of utility. Loads up Graveyard, you got it right now. Spot removal, 2 Twin, 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Twin Twisters and Cosmic Cyclone are necessary against a bunch of back row decks. Cosmic Cyclone's great for Orcus, 1-for-1 trades. That's pretty much that. Onto Power 1-ofs. Power 1-ofs, Foolish Burial, Cyber Rev System, and Cyber Repair Plant. You only need 1 of each, you don't need any more. Foolish Burial actually sided out more often than not, but it's kind of okay. Trap cards, we're playing a light sprinkling of trap cards. I know a lot of decks are trying to scoop it in with a little more like Compulse and a lot more Solemn Strikes, but honestly you just need 2. Solemn Strikes, 2 Heavy Storm Duster, the 1 Trap Trick, and then, set this up, 3 Cybernetic Overflow. So only running 1 Trap Trick because in testing, if you opened up multiple, open up your 2, even you say your 3, you couldn't really use it afterwards, so it's kind of obnoxious. 3 Overflow for sure though, because you can, essentially it's a 4th copy of Overflow, it's a 3rd copy of Heavy Storm when you need it, and then Solemn Strike didn't work whenever you need it to. It's kind of a nice little deterrent, but be careful because if you use too many or if you use it the wrong time, you'll lose because your life points will be so low. So
did you ever feel like obligated to play 2 of each of these because you're playing the 1 Trap Trick, or has it just kind of happened that way?
So interestingly enough, the playing Overflow at 3 is pretty much I would say mandatory. This card is so good every single time. It's great for value. But Trap Trick did allow a little bit of flexibility with side decking, which is partially where that came from. So you have 2 Heavy Storm Duster and 3 Overflow. But let's say you want to side out a card, you don't know what to side out. Side out your 3rd Overflow because you have one already. So you don't really need to see it. Or, hey, let's say that you sided out Trap Trick because you think you don't really need it against this matchup. Well, then you don't necessarily, might not even need Heavy Storm. You might not need the other one. So this actually made it really easy to side deck because you can pick and choose and have Trap Trick kind of be the flex on that one. So kind of like that. Ratio-wise, though, I feel like that's pretty good for traps. You don't really need more, you don't really need less. Let's talk about the side deck, so let's talk about side deck. 1 Solemn, 1 Cosmic. I'm only playing 1 of each because I didn't have a 3rd Nibiru, so 1 of these 2 would probably be it. I think probably the 2nd Solemn Strike or 3rd Solemn Strike would be the 3rd Nibiru, but whatever. 3rd Cosmic could probably be any type of spot removal. Maybe these 2 could be evenly matched. I would say these are kind of a spot to play around with. 2 copies of Nibiru the Primal Being. Light monster, so you can use it with Galaxy Soldier, which is great. This card is a shutout against most combo decks during the main or end of main phase, and also against Salamangreats. Unfortunately, I did not see it the entire weekend, but I definitely sided it in. I think actually the one time I did see it though, I didn't use it. I ended up using it for fodder for Super Poly, which is great. So kind of hilarious. 2 copies of Red Reboot. This card was clutch. Put in so much work. Back row decks, I played a few of them that were pretty back row heavy, and Red Reboot came in handy very often. So this card was great. I kind of wanted to play a 3rd one, but 2 seemed pretty alright. 3 Mind Control. I'm playing Mind Control strictly for Thunder Dragons and for, I guess, technically Orcust. It's just okay for Orcust, nothing crazy. Thunder Dragons, though, it does put in work because let's say you contact fuse away their Colossus or their, what's the big one, Titan, then you can take whatever one's in their main monster zone if it's kind of obnoxious. Let's say you have 2 Colossus, kind of hard to get around. Mind Control at 3 is pretty good for that, but I might actually change that later.
What would you change that to?
Ooh, so if I want to change this, I'd actually probably change it to evenly matched, if I want to say. If I want to keep the same, like these 2 cards out of it, have Mind Control be evenly matched, because against Sky Strikers, it's pretty much an auto win. Against most Guru Control, which one of my only losses this weekend was to Guru Control, so evenly matched definitely would have helped there. It's also really good against boards that you, let's say, bait out a couple of negates and you can just clear it, so probably evenly matched. 3 Lancia, I feel like it's pretty standard. Okay against Thunder Dragons, really good against Orcust. Also, I only used it once against a Spiral Orcust player. It did end up winning the game for that. However, the other time I saw it against a Lunalite Orcust player, I just used it as Super Poly material, so it was nice, or fodder rather. Then finally, 3 copies of Summon Limit. This card was the MVP of the deck. If you had 1 card that you potentially could main if you wanted to go first, Summon Limit would be it. Summon Limit went to, let's see, I was in my round 7. I was playing against Orcust, and we went to game 2. First game was pretty quick. Second game, I had 3 of these. I set 2 of them, and I flipped up 1, and we literally were just in Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh! Until he died. I had Cyber Dragon 2100, and they can't summon anything over like 1,000 points anyway, so just, swing over. It was crazy. Summon Limit definitely put in work there. It put in work against Pendulums. Pendulums doing a lot of summons. Of course, the Pendulum summoning mechanic is a little bit different, because that's technically a 1 summon kind of thing, but regardless, this card still was phenomenal. Finally, on to the extra deck. A little bit to talk about. Almirage, Zeger, and Phoenix. Almirage is really good. Don't play Link Karibo. Almirage will do just fine. If you think you need Link Karibo, you're probably wrong. Zeger was great for the OTKs. It came up once because you can boost Cyber Dragon Nova, and then you can banish this with Nova or the other Cyber Dragon to make it, I think, 6,000 something, and usually you can attack for game with that. Other than that, it's Link Down Point Arrow, which is good. A couple times, actually, one small thing will come up where you have to make a Link 2 with the Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon because it can't be used as fusion material, and then you can use this and their extra deck monster to make another Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, which is nice. Or Mega Fleet Dragon. Phoenix. I want to play Beat Cop instead. This card came up once and it won me a game, but I didn't technically need it. I kind of want to style a little bit. However, this card, I wanted to make Beat Cop, and there were so many awkward times where I had a Super Poly target in my extra monster zone, a monster I could use, and I kind of wanted to make Infinity or something like that, but I just, last minute, I decided to swap it out. Beat Cop, Lambda, something. Phoenix is probably that. Xyz, 2 Nova, 2 Infinity, best boss monster in the game, one of the best boss monsters ever created. Essentially, this will be the Nibiru point, but it's a great effect. Don't forget that Nibiru triggers its effect to summon out a fusion machine monster from your extra deck. That's pretty much the only thing to note with this card, and then Infinity is just negate, so it's nice. Really helps for control. 3 copies of Chimeratech Megafleet Dragon, and 1 copy of Chimeratech Fortress Dragon. So I initially was not playing 3 copies of Chimeratech Megafleet Dragon. However, it's definitely necessary. You're much more comfortable with it. You can't necessarily shuffle them back really easily unless you have something kind of crazy or an interesting tech you have going on. But it's great against Sky Strikers. If you get into the really grindy games, which this deck tends to do, this card will be a lifesaver at 3.
Have you ever used all 3?
Oh yeah. Sky Strikers came up to where I had to use all 3. In fact, it was really weird. I had I had 2 gone already, and I could have technically made the Chimeratech Fortress Dragon, which is technically where that, like, initially people playing 2 and 1, which is perfectly fine. However, they negated it and did not take, so I had a core, so I think it was a Hers, one of the 2, and so this guy is only Cyber Dragon. So the only way I would have won that is if I had the 3rd one. And I made the 3rd one, and it was beautiful, which was great. It only came up once, but every other time where I thought I would need it, I was much more comfortable. So those ones for sure. And then finally, super poly targets, Dragostapelia, Thunder Dragons, also pretty good against Pendulums if they end on Jackal King and Vortex Dragon, because Fusion Dark. And you can also, if they have a Dawn Dragster, you can target that. Didn't come up, but glad I had it. Silent Great Valak Chimera. This was the awkward one. This guy can usually win you games for OTKs. However, I had it stuck in the extra monster zone, and I probably should have made something different. Again, the whole thing with the Lambda with the beat cop, but it's pretty good. Not a bad card against Salamangreats, but it just depends. Storm Venom Fusion Dragon, amazing against Orcus, amazing against Thunder Dragon. Most things are playing 2 darks, even some rogue decks, heroes even. It has a Raigeki when it leaves the field when destroyed, so keep that in mind. And finally, half Super Poly target, half Nibiru target, Chimeratech Rampage Dragon. So, not only can you Super Poly your opponent's Cyber Dragon monsters, because this fusion summoning material, to make this guy, which is great, also a blowout. Whenever your opponent Nibiru's you on Nova, you summon out this guy, level 5 machine monster, that allows you to have not only material for a 2nd Infinity or 2nd Nova, but also this guy can send 2 cards to the graveyard, load up your graveyard a little bit, and in addition to that, pushes for game so often. Chimeratech Rampage Dragon, definitely MVP. This guy won me, I want to say, like maybe 5 matches. It was great. So, and that's pretty much it for the Cyber Dragon deck profile. Day 2, again, maybe I can do better. Next time this was, it's some misplays here and there. I'll probably go back and look at my notes and see what I could have improved on. However, I really like this deck. I'll probably make small optimizations from it, but if you guys like it, make sure to let me know down below what you guys would change, if you guys had anything different you would do. I doubt it. However, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on that. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like. If you want some more, please subscribe. More videos coming in the pipeline, so stay tuned for that if you would like to. That's all I gotta say. Peace out.